How's everyone doing? We're going to go over some things to get away from that wiring. You got to step back from it. It's a long process. It's an eye straining process, and it has to be right. So don't rush it. We're going to step back. And I got a million things to do anyway, so there's busy work to be done. One of those things to do is get this fan shroud mounted to the radiator. It comes with a mounting kit. You can see the slots here and here, but that's not going to work for my type of radiator. There's some on the top and bottom as well, but that's just not going to work. So, you know, as usual, you got to build something, you got to make something. And I have some aluminum 1-inch, I think this is 1 inch, 1.5 inch angle here. And what I'm doing is I'm taking it, I've already cut this one to length and drilled holes, and I've already started drilling out the holes in here because I can't bolt this to the radiator, so I'm going to weld it. So this has to be able to bolt to this. Well, the problem with that is there's no threads in this, and if it's bolted down, you can't get to the backside. I mean, you could take the fan shroud out and get a wrench down in there, but that's I'm sorry, you can take the fan out, but that's ridiculous. So what I'm doing is I'm drilling holes, and we're going to do some nutserts into this housing. This is a steel housing, so I lost my train of thought. Yeah, steel housing. So we're going to get these in there. They said a 3/8 bit for these, but I just used a 23/64, and it fit perfect. So I'm going to go with that. Not that 3/8, because that would be too big and you'll never get it right. The only concern I have is that this is steel and it's powder coated. So I got to see, and it's going to be under the car, susceptible to environment. So I got to see if I have some paint that I can line those holes with. I'm just going to give it a little spritz. A primer there. I don't really care how the inside looks. You'll never see it. We'll see the outside though. Like that matters. There's going to be another car and that's going to be bolted to it. I've talked about this kit before. That's what I use. It's the Marson metric thread setter kit. See the part number? Pick it up on Amazon. Comes with like a rivet type looking tool, and it comes with a whole bunch of to get you started. I'm using M6 ones. There you go. You have threads. See how it mushrooms out all the way around? M6 bolts. And you're good to go. Now we just have 3 more to do. My stepdad gave me a benchtop drill press. It makes life a little bit easier. Drill some holes in. She's an oldie, but she works. That's all set. Well, all set to an extent. We have to go weld these pieces to the actual radiator. Alright, those two are taken care of. It's going to be a pretty solid piece there, I hope. I think I might put a tack on each side here on this weld so it's supported up here as well, because this is sitting up on the weld now that I just looked at that. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to tack those two both sides. let this thing cool down. We still have to make mounting for this. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I've seen so many conflicting things. I had it on my car for 5,000 miles solid mounted without an issue. Doesn't mean one won't present itself eventually. And that was with, how did I have that? I just had bungs. Oh, it's hot. I just had two bungs, blind bungs on the side, and it bolted to it in the car. I don't know if I'm going to go the same route or have it wrap around, like the metal wrap around to bungs on each side of this, so it's sitting on it. That's all done. A little snug in here. I had to do some grinding, but sorry about the lighting. I already stuck it back in the corner. Now I have to order some connectors. Some connectors for that. I gotta order 10 gauge connectors. I gotta order 2 because, like I said, I'm gonna run those things separate of each other. It's a lot of amperage to turn on at once. So Dominator, key thing about it, I can run those separate and I could have them come on at different temperatures. So I gotta order the connectors for that, and then I gotta make the harnesses. I gotta unbolt that again, make the harnesses, and then I can bolt it on. And we still gotta figure out mounting. Now, moving onward and upward. What are we gonna do? Using that Nutsert kit with the coolant hoses here, I'm moving them up into the trans tunnel, like right along the bottom side where the trans tunnel starts to turn up, just so I get some more ground clearance out of this. The upper hose does not reach. I gotta order another one. Man, the freaking list is getting longer the more I talk. So I can do the upper one, but I can get the Nutserts in and get this bottom one ran and supported it up, because then this one I could come along and zip tie next to it. Let's do that. It's gonna be under the car. It sucks. I hate it. Let me tell you, when I become rich and YouTube famous, the first freaking thing I'm doing is buying a goddamn lift. This on the back shit is for the birds. I mean, I've built the entire car, you know, no higher than it is on these stands. Speaking of stands, Harbor Freight issued a recall on jack stands. Find the recall. Check your jack stands. I have, let's see, I got 2, 4, 6 over there, 2 more over here, and 4 of them fall under the recall. And yes, you've seen it. I've built this car for years on those stands, but looking at the recall versus the non-recall ones, you can see why they fuck up. The teeth are rounded and they slip off the locks and can come crashing down. Bring it back to Harbor Freight. It's a free, they give you a gift card for the value they were new, and then you could just go around and turn and buy them again. Your life isn't worth the time to just go there and swap them. I'm not you. That's not holding the car up. So don't think that's just holding my empty fuel cell up in location right now. So don't think I'm just preaching here. But your life isn't worth the time it takes to go to Harbor Freight and swap them out. So do that. Don't be stupid. Now we're under here. I gotta make, you can see the one coolant hose here, and I don't have to add that many things because I want this thing right about here. It was down under here before, but you could see it from the side of the car from a distance. I didn't like it, so I'm gonna put this here. It's just up on the curve a little bit. It gets it out of the way, and then, you know, back here it'll follow the same path that it did before, up and over and yada yada yada. I'm gonna drill a couple holes for this hose to secure it. One feels good, right? The problem is the floor's fucked up right here. I mean, I guess I could just Now, that zip tying is just so freaking ghetto. I mean, it works. There's nothing wrong with it. But it... Fuck. Just zip tie it there. I gotta tie up my China cooler lines again. Hey, a broken zip tie. See, this is why I don't like zip ties. There's a zip tie half broken holding my China cooler hoses up. That's awesome. Hopefully I don't fuck up the carpet on the inside too much. You know, I should probably be wearing glasses for this. What the fuck I'm thinking here. The safety glasses. The problem with having 2 project cars. What am I doing? Oh man, I'm so out of it today. I'm all messed up. Project cars with 2 garages. Your crap's everywhere. You don't know where it is. Glasses and spare battery were over with Project Blackbird. Blackbird! I should start drinking. Maybe that'll straighten everything out. Or not. Now, I've been having a problem doing these because I hurt my wrist. And I don't know how, and I don't know what's wrong with it. I haven't been to the doctor yet. And I really need to go because it fucking hurts and I have no strength in my hand. Plus, these new ones I got are freaking harder. I don't like them at all. I tried to be cheap and get the ones off Amazon. And they're much... Oh god, that fucking hurts. They are much harder to compress than the ones that come with the Marson kit. So I'll probably just order... Stop being a cheap bastard and just order the Marson ones. I don't know if I tightened the hose. I've got those in different area codes. I've got hose. To my wife, that's H-O-S-E, not the one you're thinking it is right now. I think I've lost it. I might have lost it. Building a streetcar or race car, whatever you want to call this thing. I'm gonna call it a streetcar because it's registered, and you know, I drove about 4,900 miles on the street and about, let's see, I made 5 passes, so 1.25 miles, and well, we'll say, you know, 1/4 mile back. Well, who knows, shut down. So 3 miles on the track. So I'm gonna call it a streetcar. May look like a race car. A streetcar impersonating a race car. How's that? Everybody says race car because their streetcar's slow. But my streetcar is slow. I don't know. This whole rear mount radiator idea is so freaking stupid right now. Ugh! It is what it is. I'm not changing my whole turbo kit. I don't want it rubbing. God damn it, I'm stuck! We get a couple of zip ties just to hold this thing up out of the way. God damn it. Alrighty. I got my cushion clamps. We take our zip tie and we run it like this. It will hold our hose for us forever. God damn it, it's not big enough! So we take 2 zip ties and we do it like this. And then it will hold the hose for us forever. Don't mind my hair. We are now like I don't know, 86 days without a haircut. We've been in quarantine or lockdown or whatever the hell it's called for 60. What are we in now? Are we still in May? So March, April, yeah, that's like 60 something days. So It's the longest I've ever gone without a haircut, probably since I was a child. Fuck you, Ned Lamont. If anyone's wondering, that's our governor in this shithole state. I'm sorry for swearing so much today. I've lost it just a little bit. Unbelievable, yeah. There's that. So if we do like this and like that, that's pretty freaking fancy. Just have to put like, I don't know, 16 more in. I might use this bracket to hold it out. You know, I'll drill it and put a Nutsert in it so it holds it out, and then just put one more over here. So this way it's out of the way of everything. At least that one's pre-drilled. Alright, I know, you guys are probably like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Shut the fuck up. Just show us how to build shit. We don't care. Oi. Oi. It's hurting my wrist. I'm dying. I got the COVID. Oh, man. Oh, I should probably get this wrist looked at. Oh, these are hard, man. I just heard my elbow crack. My wrist is killing me. These things are fucking ridiculous. That actually worked out pretty well. It held it away from that edge, which I was worried about. Let's straighten my clamp out. Ow. So I'm going to put one more right here, and that'll hold it, and that's going to hold it away from the edge. I don't know. We'll see once the radiator's back there. I got to mount the fuel cell again, though. I cut everything out of the trunk because when we scaled it, oh, I got to put something on that edge right there. No, once I put a clamp there to hold it away. When I scaled it last year, if you guys remember, I was 100 pounds heavy on the left side with my big ass in it. And you could actually see it in the tire wear too. Oh, now I've gotten rid of the air to water, so that's gone. I moved the battery up over the frame rail, and I've centered the fuel cell. Hopefully that cures my problem, but now I gotta remount all that crap for the third time. Next year, guys, we're not taking this car apart. I might change the seats, but we're not taking this car apart. I'm done taking this car apart. You say that every year. Fuck off. I know. I hope I've made a super boring process somewhat interesting for you. Probably all laughing at me like this freaking whack job over here. But I do like this hose routing much better than the previous one. And you won't see it from under the car now, which I absolutely cannot stand when you see shit hanging out the bottom of the car. Unless you really can't do anything about it, like a set of freaking headers or... I gotta talk to myself more when I'm filming for you guys, because the whole lack of not having to have music on really freaking blows. Thanks, YouTube. Now, I can put my drive shaft in. Because I didn't know where that was gonna go to hold the, where I had to drill hoses. Drill holes. Oh, did you guys want to come too? Alright, I'll bring you along. Put transmission in neutral. I almost got out to grab the shifter. Realized the cable's not actually in the car yet. Oh, God, that almost really hurt. Whew. All right, my shaft is in. All right, to the trunk. And what we got here is you see my battery is moved all over there, which not going to be the battery I'm going to use because I got this sweet ICT billet battery hold down, and it holds like Optima red tops and yellow tops and Group 34s. And this is a 65. It's huge. It's heavy as hell. Well, it's just there. See my Holly wiring right to the battery? Yeah, boy. I moved my kill switch closer. And in the theme of polishing stuff, I polished that. And there you go. You see my fuel cell is centered. I'm going to try to drop it down a little bit. It's a delicate battle between this and the radiator. I don't want the radiator hanging low for obvious reasons, and I don't want to see it. But I also don't want this all the way up. Will it matter if this is all the way up? No, not at all. It's fine at the height it's at. That's going to take up a lot of time. I'm not going to bore you guys with that. I think I bored you enough this episode. We are, I don't even know what day it is. May 26th, something like that. Getting to be about the time of where I started driving it last year. It's probably going to take a little bit longer this year because there's still a lot of freaking work to do. There's still a bunch of stuff to buy. And it's the way it goes. You know, the Holly EFI was expensive, and then I changed a whole bunch of other crap on top of it. As always, get in the garage, grab a cold drink. I got my Doritos, one of my favorites, non-alcoholic. Start working on your hot rod. Summer's here, quarantine's starting to get lifted, tracks are starting to open back up again. I just want to go for a drive and do some burnouts. I want to hear this thing, I want to feel this thing again, and I got to start getting this thing ready for testing. I think ACO announced they're going to open July 1st, so that's my goal right now, to have this running. Everyone I've talked to said 95% of testing for drag week is driving it around and making sure nothing breaks. The other 5% is actually on the track. Well, I need to pick up a full second and a half. I need to get down to I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, there was a 7-second car that won the class last year, but you never know. He could break on day 2 and your 850s could be good enough. I'm not going to win, but I don't want to also be a 970 car in that class. So I want to get testing, and I want to get it, you know, into the mid-8s, and to do that I got to be racing. Driving I'm not really worried about. I didn't change that much this year. The only thing I got to do is worry about the coolant again, but double the size radiator, double the size of fans, I shouldn't have an issue. And then we get to build the drag week trailer, which, depending on time, it's either going to be really nice or it's going to be kind of hobo-ish, and we make it really nice over the winter. You know, I wanted to do a 1-inch square tube aluminum framing with nice sheet metal sidings on it, but it might be wood this year. Who knows? We'll see. Have a good night, guys.